Welcome back. This is Franklin. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today, we're going to do something a little bit different. I've been showing you a little bit of what it took to build up to my pro debut and my subsequent show, and now I have the footage. The footage is in, and we're about to see what it took to compete, one, in the Legion Sports Fest, and secondly, in the San Francisco Pro, my first two shows in my rookie season as an IFBB Men's Physique Pro. In this video, you're gonna see some backstage footage, you're gonna see my posing routine from both shows, and you're gonna see the grueling comparisons that I had to go through in Legions to make sure that I could solidify that top 10 placing. So without further ado, sit back, relax. You're gonna see a lot of stuff today. I'm gonna commentate and let you know what's going on. So if you are someone out there that wants to compete, or you're a pro and you haven't competed in your pro debut yet, I'm going to give you a little flavor of what that is, how you can approach it, what you should expect, and most importantly, the experience behind it. So sit back, relax, get ready to see it. First, what you're seeing over here, this is backstage. So backstage, you'll be there with your competitors, other competitors that are in your division, other divisions. So in the background, there were some classic physique, some bikini, some wellness athletes that were competing. And really what I'm doing in this first clip is getting my back pumped up. That's really, they always say shows are won from the back. So you have to make sure that you're pumping blood effectively into your back muscles. And that's what I'm trying to do here. Rolling on, you're gonna see now working my chest again after back. Chest is probably the most prominent muscle that they're going to see. So really just working some body weight push-ups to get my chest full. You can see there's veins, there's striations, everything's already there. I just need to pump the blood in there. And rolling on to these last two clips is shoulder work. So shoulders, you gotta make sure that they're pumped up again. For me, you can see it even here. I'm in my off season, my arms are fairly big. I need to make sure that my shoulders look the part so that they're even, and actually not even even. You really, for men's physique, you want your shoulders to be the dominant body part on your arm. So for me, there's a little bit more work to do there, which I'll talk about later. But these are just a couple of clips of backstage before I'm ready to go on stage. This is where they're about to announce the first call out. If you don't know, the first call out generally depicts the top people in that show. So again, they usually bring out either anywhere from 6 to 8 I've seen in shows. In this show, I believe they did bring out 6 competitors. Luckily, I was one of them. So as you can see here, they're making the call outs and they're doing it in numerical order. So again, my last name starts with an A. So naturally my number was one of the highest in the group. So you can see I'm coming out, then they're calling others, Chiron, some other major hitters in the men's physique space and competing space. So for me, Chiron, small shout out. He's someone I've looked up to even before I turned pro. So to be on the same stage as him was amazing. So as you can see here, they're calling us out. We're setting up, in our front pose, and you'll see soon some transitions will be made. All right, so as you see here, I'm being switched probably to around 5th or 6th in this call out. So you can see they moved me out to the left if you're looking at the screens. Same thing here, just going through the routine. This is the posing practice that you probably see from me all the time. This is why I do, because you need posing conditioning to stand up there and not breathe heavily, not show it in your abs, not show it, your muscles are shaking. You almost have to be a Greek statue on stage. So as you can see here, there's a couple of switches made, different competitors, and we're still going through our routine. And now you can see they literally called off the top 3 people. That usually designates 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. So as you can see, they shifted me into the middle with the 2 other competitors, and they're bringing more competitors into this call out. So this is sort of like a first, now second call out, where they're now giving us that fair comparison. So as you can see here, more competitors are called on the stage, and there's going to be some more movement, but I'll let you see it on stage. But here, generally now I'm battling for maybe anywhere from 5th to 7th position. So pretty interesting. Obviously, you can probably see there will be some times where I reset and you'll see competitors will be in their pose, either if it's a front pose or if it's a front side pose or even your back pose. You'll see people sometimes, if they're in the front pose, come here, and what that is, it's a reset to allow you to breathe, reset yourself, and get back in your pose. So you can see some people are doing that here. And finally, it looks that here they have, the positionings lined up. So they've put us through the grinder a little bit. I've been on stage at this point for about 5 minutes straight posing. So you can probably tell I am gassed. Not to be confused with this guy. who's literally dead. On stage, I was a little bit better, but I was gassed. You know, it was super interesting. I loved it. From what you can see here, I ended up placing 7th, which was super great for me, you know, my pro debut, to get a top 10, and be in that space and to be respected, and having a lot of competitors who have been at this for years tell me that I have a real future in this sport, that they can see me being very dangerous, you know, when I get back on stage. To hear all of that at your very first show at the pro level, breathtaking, and for me, super humbling, made me super motivated to continue working harder. And really, that's what it was from this show. It was a great show, super well run, just so many different venues. You know, there was powerlifting, different vendors who were, you know, having you sample their products. It was just a great all-around experience. Some of the guys that I met there, I can tell that I'm going to build lifelong friendships with. They were super great, very humble, were giving me advice that I didn't know that I needed, which was super awesome, you know. And you know, sometimes in this industry you hear a lot of drama from this side and that side, but for me, my experience, it was awesome. Like, everyone was super nice. They were helping me. People were letting me use their equipment if I didn't have it, giving me small tips here and there in terms of presentation. So super glad. Again, shout out to my coach, Mehdi. He was backstage with me. He traveled from San Jose. He actually drove to Reno, Nevada from San Jose. So honestly, big shout out, coach. He was back there with me, really putting me through the paces, making sure that I was super calm and controlled. It was just amazing. So obviously, after the Reno Legion Sports Fest, that was an amazing show. But what I didn't tell you guys before is that I actually had registered for 3 shows, in consecutive shows. So I competed in the Legion Sports Fest on Sunday of the first week in October, and then the very next week I was in San Jose for the San Francisco Championship. So what you're going to see here, this is a photo of me literally right before I was getting on stage. Apologies, there wasn't a lot of opportunity to film at this show. It was a smaller venue. Even though there were a lot of super heavy hitters, there wasn't really a great opportunity to film. So what you're going to see now on screen is my posing routine. Again, it looks very similar to the one you saw from Legion Sports Fest, so I don't have to go into a ton of detail. But again, the review from the first show, which I did talk about before, is that they told me that I had, you know, the shape, I had, you know, the height and the size. I didn't necessarily need to get any bigger, but I did need to bring a little bit more fullness. If you were to see any still photos from me, you could see that there was a little bit of hollowness in my upper chest, some in my shoulders. You know, that's because intentionally we brought a drier look for the first show. So as you can see in these clips, I'm definitely fuller. My muscle has more pop to it, because we wanted to try and give the judges a different look and see what they preferred. So in this one, I ended up placing 12th out of 25 competitors. Not terrible, honestly. Yes, it's a dip from the 7th place I got, because that was out of actually 31 competitors. But for me, it was a strong showing. It was a stronger set of competitors, so I've heard. A lot of heavy hitters, and for me, you know, again, to get on stage and get that feedback, to get that experience is really what I was there for. So I had a 3rd show planned. It was Hurricane Pro in St. Petersburg, Florida. I actually didn't even need to do that show. Reason being, Sandy is one of the head judges. She was actually the head judge at Legions and was also the head judge at the San Francisco Championship show. And she did give me the same feedback, so that yes, you were fuller, but you don't need to sacrifice conditioning for fullness. It gave me the 3 areas of focus that I need to, you know, really work on, which I'll talk about in a little bit. But essentially after 2 shows, because I had the same feedback, it let me know everything I needed to do to actually go into a real off season. For those of you who don't know, off seasons are where you typically try and grow and improve on the areas that you need for your competition season. And luckily for me, this is actually going to be my first official off season. I've never really taken more than 2 or 3 months off in the last 4 to 5 years that I've been competing. So to have this opportunity to truly grow at my own pace and to really focus on the areas of improvement is something I'm super excited about. So that was my rookie season. 2 shows in very quick succession, just like Mehdi likes it. You know, he knows what he knows, and I'm thankful to be with him. You know, for me, knowing what the feedback is and then seeing your coach say, you know what, I already knew it, and these are the things we're going to have the opportunity to work on, is super reassuring for me, that I know that I'm going to be moving in the right direction. So you might be thinking, this guy looks great. What can he improve upon? Don't worry, I'm going to tell you right now. So area number 1 of improvement is my upper chest, not the full upper chest, but specifically this area. So this is the area between your anterior delt, front delt, and your upper chest. If you can see, there's some hollowness. Maybe you can't, it might be dark, but there's a little bit of hollowness that I need to bring up. And obviously, as I spoke about before with my arms, area number 2, because my arms are so big, I really want that disproportionate look to my shoulders. So I definitely need to start more with the shoulder presses, which is something that admittedly I had taken out of my training, mostly because 3 years ago I had torn my AC joint and I didn't get it officially fixed. So it's something that I just rested and iced. So I'm always super careful with that. So in the last couple of preps, I have not implemented shoulder presses in any regard. I've really just done lateral raises. So for me, implementing shoulder presses will definitely increase volume and mass density in my shoulders, which is exactly what we're looking for. And third but not least, and this is for everybody, mostly, especially with men's physique, we wear shorts. You don't get to see our legs, but our back is something that is super prominent. And for me, I have very good shape to my back, as I was told from the judges. Sandy made that very clear. But one thing that I do need, and you could probably see it as you watch back and look at some of the other competitors that placed higher than me, is that there's a thickness and detail to my back that I need. And again, admittedly, I wasn't doing rows. I'll admit it, it's terrible. No deadlifts, no rows, no nothing. If I was rowing in my sleep, and it wasn't real. What I've implemented now are rowing techniques, bent over heavy rows, single arm heavy rows. Like, it's the mass that I need to put on. It's not necessarily that I would get any bigger. It's almost like recomping my body to have the right muscle mass in areas. So as you can see, 3 major areas of focus. I plan to take a year off. It might be shorter than that if my body responds super well to this. But I'm super excited. It's going to be content that I'm going to take you along for. This journey of mine is now yours. So you're going to see what it takes for me to make improvements so that hopefully the clips you saw today, that is the old me. And the next time that I'm on stage, I blow that competitor out of the water. So, I'm appreciative of you guys supporting me, you guys being here. It's going to be super exciting to take you along the journey of my off season, because frankly, it's going to be new for both of us. I haven't been in a long off season, but I'm going to enjoy the process. I'm super excited to grow. I'm super excited to grow while staying fairly lean, because that's one thing that is very important to my coach, that you definitely don't need to put on a ton of fat in the off season in order to grow. You can make improvements while staying relatively lean so that you can stay relatively, close to the shape you were when you competed, so that you don't have to prep for 25 weeks or 28 weeks like I just, previously prepped. So with that being said, I'm looking forward to this off season. This is off season number 1 officially. I'm excited that you guys get to watch me and, be with me along for this journey. Those of you that are following, get ready. It's going to be super exciting. And with that, this is Franklin signing out. Welcome and thank you for attending my TED Talk.